Welcome everyone. I don't think you'll need any props for today's practice. Perhaps just a block if you know that you use a block for half moon. And we'll just get started lying down onto your backs with your head facing me at the top of your mat. Lying with your legs fully extended, your arms resting fully at your sides, eyes closed. So our goal through our asana practice is to discover a meditative path towards realizing who we truly are. Patanjali's Yoga Sutras say that when a practitioner has a tranquil mind, he abides in his own true nature. In order to practice asana as a meditative path, you'll need to let go of the habitual responses to physical and mental distractions that occur during your practice. Of course, maintaining a pose involves a certain amount of effort, some type of intention and action. However, over time, you can learn to release unnecessary movements, thoughts, and actions as you practice. So keeping your eyes closed, just begin to soften your eyes. Let your eyeballs sink deeply into their sockets. Relax your tongue. Release the skin on your temples. Let your breath be gentle and easy. Bring your mind into a quiet, receptive state that is free of conflict. Now begin to deepen your breath. Draw the air a little more fully into the lungs with each inhalation. Completely empty with each exhalation. And now to initiate your Ujjayi breath, create a slight restriction in the back of your throat so that your breath becomes audible both on the inhalation and the exhalation. Create one continuous sound as you breathe. Now staying entirely focused on your breath, open your eyes. Bend your knees, place your feet to the floor, and now give your knees a nice tight squeeze to your chest. Begin to separate the knees a little wider than hip width apart, and either hold it here or move into happy baby pose, reaching your arms between your inner thighs to catch the inner arches of your feet. Tug down nice and firmly on the soles of your feet as if you're tucking your knees to your armpits. And now moving into half happy baby from here, keeping hold of the right foot, simply extend the left leg down onto the ground. Left hand rests to the top of your left thigh. Really reach into that left heel, perhaps feeling the stretch intensify through the front of that left hip and thigh. Tug down a little more firmly on the arch of your right foot. Now releasing your right foot, squeeze your knee to your chest. Knee down twist, reaching the right arm to the side, palm down. Turn your gaze to the right and guide the knee to the left. So moving somewhat cautiously into these first few twists as you assess how your lower back is feeling in your practice today. Take bigger breaths into the twist. And now drawing your head to center, guide the right knee back. Give both knees another squeeze. Once again, separate the knees a little wider than hip width and return to happy baby pose if you did so on the first round. See if you can flatten your entire spine to the ground. Wiggling the sacrum, that triangular bone at the base of your spine, all the way to the floor if the lower back will allow. Now moving back into half happy baby, keeping hold of the sole of your left foot, release the right foot to extend that right leg fully, resting your right hand to the top of your right thigh, pressing into the right heel, tugging down firmly on the arch of that left foot. And now releasing the sole of your left foot, squeeze your knee to your chest And return to knee down twist, reaching the left arm to the side, turning your gaze to the left, guiding the knee to the right. Taking deep belly breaths. Now drawing your head back to center, guide the left knee back. Give both knees another squeeze. And now release your shins, lower your feet to the floor, extend your legs fully down onto your mat, and now sweep your arms out overhead for a full body stretch. Gently roll over onto your belly. As you roll over, place your hands beneath your shoulders, rise onto all fours, and now tuck your toes under to float your hips into downward dog, bending one knee into the next, pedaling the heels up and down. Now gradually begin to lengthen through the legs, shifting your weight to your left foot. Lift the right leg high behind you. Bend your knee, allow your heel to roll over your left hip. Pressing equally into both palms, work towards straightening your supporting leg. And now extend the right leg back out behind you, lower your foot to the floor, and switch sides. Lift the left leg as high as you can, bend your knee, let the heel roll over the right hip. Now extend that left leg back out behind you. Gaze forward to step your foot all the way forward between your hands, ankle beneath the knee. Step your right foot forward to join the left. Hands down, heart lifts. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise all the way up, arms overhead. As you exhale, palms to heart. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, reach up, look up. As you exhale, fold forward. Hands down, chest lifts. Exhale, palms to the ground, step back into upper plank. Drop the knees if you need to, lower with control, keep the core strong. Point the toes and either rise into little cobra with soft elbows or straighten the arms and lift the knees into full upward dog. Exhale, lift the hips, roll over the toes, back into downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your toes, moving to a forward fold now at the back of your mat. And when you get there, separate your feet a little wider than hip width apart. Allow the toes to splay outward. And now drop down into a nice deep squat. Hips between the heels, prying the knees apart with your elbows, pressing the palms together. So rather than positioning your elbows down low toward the ankles, slide the elbows high toward the knees. And then as you press the palms together, feel your spine lengthen. Feel your chest lift. Feel the shoulders slide back toward the hips. And just imagine that you're breathing softness into those muscles surrounding the hips. Separate your palms, fingertips back to the floor in front of you. Walk your feet back to that 2 fists distance apart. And then once again, straighten the legs. Catch the elbows and take a few big breaths. Softening back into your knees, release your elbows. Walk your hands forward, returning to downward dog. Take a big breath in, and at the bottom of your next breath, gaze forward to step, walk, or hop your feet between your hands. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to rise all the way up, arms overhead. As you exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, extend your arms, lift your gaze. As you exhale, fold deeply over your thighs. Hands down, heart lifts. Exhale, palms to the ground, step or hop into upper plank. Lower to hover if you can. Point the toes. Inhale, rising upward. Exhale, lift the hips, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. This time with the option of adding a bit of a twist to your downward dog. Perhaps shifting your weight to your right hand, The left hand reaches beneath that right armpit to catch the outside of the right calf, ankle, perhaps even the heel. Really encourage that left shoulder to drop. Your extended arm stays long and strong, neck stays relaxed. If you're twisting, re-extend the left arm forward, and now switch sides, threading the right hand beneath the left armpit to catch the outside of the left calf, ankle, or heel. Really encourage that right shoulder to drop. If you're twisting, re-extending that right arm forward, taking a big breath in, and at the bottom of your next breath, gazing forward to step or hop between your hands. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold. Inhale to rise, arms overhead. As you exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, extend your arms. Exhale, bow deeply over your thighs. Hands down, heart lifts. Exhale, palms to the ground. Step or hop into high plank. Continue with the rhythm of your own breath. We'll all meet in downward dog. Now at the bottom of your next breath, step your right foot forward, ankle directly beneath the knee. Staying on the ball of your back foot, shifting your weight to your left hand, sweep the right arm to the ceiling. Lift your gaze toward that higher hand. Work towards stacking your right shoulder on top of the left as you squeeze the right knee snugly beneath the chest. Press into that left heel. Take one more big breath in, lower your right hand to the floor, stay on the ball of the back foot, and now rise into crescent lunge, sweeping the arms overhead. Interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows spread wide to the sides. Let your head fall all the way back into the hammock of your hands. With the help of your hands, draw your head to center, re-extend the arms, and now drop the left heel to open the arms wide into Warrior Two. Soft, steady gaze over the middle finger on your right hand. Two more of your deepest breaths. And now slowly straighten your right leg. Take a big reach forward. Tip into a lengthy triangle. Let the right hand float to the inside of your right shin. Left arm reaches to the sky. Drawing the thigh muscles up nice and tightly, feeling the kneecaps lift. Now, as you initiate your next inhalation, slowly rise. Turn to your left into goddess pose, turning the toes out toward the short edges of your mat, deep bend through the knees, elbows at shoulder level, fingers spread nice and wide. Temple pose, right elbow to the top of your thigh, left arm to the sky, shifting your hips to the left to keep your hips centered between the heels. Inhale back into goddess, tipping over to the left, left elbow to the top of the left thigh, right arm to the sky. Press your knees out toward your little toes. As you begin your next inhalation, rise back into goddess, and now tip forward to place your fingertips to the floor beneath your shoulders. Cross the right forearm over the left. Pop up onto all of your fingertips. And now shifting your weight into the balls of your feet, keeping the hips nice and low, lift your heels. Keep the breath steady, breath audible. Take one more big breath in, drop the heels, uncross the arms to rise back into goddess. And now exhale, warrior two, to face the back of the mat. Placing your right hand to your right hip, floating forward into half moon, plant your left hand to the floor directly beneath your shoulder. Send the right leg out behind you to hip level. Take your time, find your balance. Perhaps the right arm reaches to the sky. Perhaps your gaze shifts toward that higher hand. Long and strong through both legs. Now take one more big breath in. Place your right hand to the floor to join the left. Step your right foot forward, hip width apart from the left, facing the back of your mat. Straighten your legs and allow your hands to rest to shins, ankles, or around the big toes if you can reach. Keeping your hands where they are, inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, bow forward. Let your neck relax. Feel the shoulders extend upward toward the hips. Allow your gaze to fall softly past the tip of your nose. Each time you feel your weight shifting back into your heels, redirect your weight forward again toward the balls of your feet. Keeping your hands where they are, inhale, heart lifts. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, plant your palms to the floor. Step back into upper plank. Squeeze the elbows in as you lower. Inhale, rising upward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a few big breaths. Now repeating a similar sequence on the opposite side. At the bottom of your next breath, step your left foot forward. Stay on the ball of the right foot, shifting your weight to your right hand as you inhale, sweep the left arm to the ceiling. And work towards stacking those shoulders as you squeeze the left knee tightly beneath your chest. Nice and strong through your supporting arm. Take one more big breath in. Lower the left hand to the floor. And now slowly rise back into crescent lunge. Arms overhead. Once again, interlace your fingers behind your head, elbows wide in your peripheral vision, head falling back into your palms. Keep reaching into that right heel. And then with the help of your hands, drawing your head to center, re-extending the arms, warrior two, dropping the right heel to spread the arms wide. Feeling that subtle activation of your core, drawing the lower belly inward and upward. Take one more full breath. Straighten the left leg, take a big reach forward, and tip back into that lengthy triangle. Long through both sides of your upper body. As you initiate your next inhalation, slowly rise, turning to your right, back into goddess pose. Toes turn outward, deep bend through the knees, scooping the tailbone under as you press the knees outward. Humble horse this time. Interlace your fingers to your lower back, reach into the arms, lift your heart, and now fold forward. Arms lift as you imagine sitting down into a very low imaginary chair. As the arms lift, the shoulders slide back toward the hips. Neck stays relaxed. Take one more big breath in, lower your hands to your lower back. Unclasp your hands to place your fingertips to the floor back beneath the shoulders. This time crossing the left forearm over the right. Pop up onto the fingertips. Drop the hips and pop up onto the balls of the feet again. Lift the heels as high as you can. One more big breath in, gently lower the heels, uncross the wrists to rise back into goddess. Exhale, warrior two to face the top of your mat. Floating back into half moon, place your left hand to your left hip. Plant your right hand to the floor beneath your right shoulder. Send the left leg out behind you to hip level, flexing that foot back and toward the knee. If you raised your arm on the opposite side, extending that left arm to the sky, perhaps lifting your gaze. Take one more big breath in. Place your left hand to the ground and join the right. Step the left foot forward, hip width apart from the right. Bending into your knees, slide the palms of your hands fully beneath the soles of your feet. Walk your toes right up to the crease on each wrist. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, fold. Straighten your legs just as far as the hamstrings will allow. Let your head hang heavily. Keep the neck nice and relaxed. Now softening back into your knees, slide your hands out from beneath the feet. Plant your palms to the floor. Step back into upper plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, rising upward. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Let's take 5 full breaths here. As you initiate your next inhalation, shift forward into one last upper plank. And now stay nice and strong through your core. Lower all the way down onto your belly. And then gently roll over onto your back. Now once you've rolled over, bend your knees, place your heels close to the sitting bones. Cross your right leg all the way over the left as tightly as you can. Reclining cow face pose, hug your knees to your chest to either catch a shin in each hand, perhaps even catching the outer edge of a foot in each hand. Now the closer you draw the knees to the chest, the deeper the stretch. The further apart you draw the feet, the deeper the stretch. Just stay mindful of what's going on through the knees. You should pretty much exclusively feel the stretch through the hips. Head resting on the ground, chin tucked toward chest. Now release your legs, keeping your legs crossed. Place your left foot to the floor, letting that right foot dangle above the floor. Now with the option of taking an eagle leg bind here, you can either let that right foot dangle or you can slip it around the back of the left calf to take the bind. Reach your arms wide to the sides in the T position. Turn your gaze to the right. Slowly lower the knees to the left. Play with that pressure through your palms to ensure that both shoulders stay connected to the floor. Drawing your head back to center, engage your core, draw the knees back. Unravel your legs, squeeze your knees back to your chest. Keeping the knees bent, feet to the floor to switch sides, crossing the left leg all the way over the right. Hugging the knees to the chest once again to either catch a shin in each hand or the outer edge of a foot in each hand. Really tucking those knees in toward the chest as you separate the feet, bringing the stretch deeply into the hips, into the glutes, into the IT bands. Now releasing your legs. Keep the legs crossed as you plant your right foot to the floor. If you took the eagle bind on the opposite side, secure the left foot around the back of the right calf. Arms extend wide to the sides, turning your gaze to the left and dropping the knees to the right. Taking full breaths into the twist. Now drawing your head to center, engage your core, draw the knees back, unravel the legs, give your knees one last squeeze to your chest. And now release your shins, lower your feet to the floor, extend your legs fully down onto your mat for our final posture. Letting your arms rest fully at your sides, closing your eyes, taking a full breath in through the nose, audible sigh out through the mouth. And again, deep breath in through the nose, empty through the mouth. And now allow your breath to return to its natural, relaxed rhythm. Tuck your tailbone under slightly. Allow the hips, the thighs, the buttocks to relax. Feet flop open to the sides. Tuck your shoulder blades under to cradle your heart. Now open your mouth wide, give your jaw a big stretch. And as you close the mouth, let the jaw hinge open slightly. Your practice in this final posture is simply shifting your attention back to the flow of your breath each time you're distracted by a thought. Allowing your body and your mind to drift into stillness. Now feel free to linger here in Shavasana for as long as you like. Otherwise, slowly beginning to resurface. Begin to notice the sounds in your room around you. Feel the slightest movement arise through your fingers and toes. Extend your arms out overhead for a full body stretch. Reach from end to end. Bend your knees, plant your feet to the floor, and now roll softly to your right side, all the way onto that right shoulder to rest your head to your upper right arm. And now rise from here to a seated, cross-legged position. Drawing your hands to your heart, opening our eyes to each other. Namaste. Well, thank you for joining today's practice. If you're enjoying my classes, please subscribe. And if you'd like to donate, there's a PayPal button just to the right of Mount Rendell on the main page of my YouTube channel. Thank you for your practice.